I would see these things and I was like, who's doing this? Like, it's different than what I knew. It was better than what I was doing. And I'm like, how are they doing that? I always had some confidence in myself as a coder or a developer, but I knew my design work was okay, but it wasn't as good as what I was seeing in the community. And I found out that it was Tom and Sean and others at Mission Creative.
There's a lot of talented people that run around doing what he does, right? Designers, I would call him an artist designer first, but also he can code. Not everyone that can code though can understand what it takes to create a brand.
He was encouraging, not knowing that he was encouraging us, meaning that he was like, you guys should start a business. You know, what are you gonna do? When are you gonna do this?
Immediately when we started Gigantic, Jay was on the short list of like, hey, as soon as we can, we gotta get that guy over here. And he was our first hire.
Working here and being a part of Gigantic is a big part of my identity, you know, and I try and find times to like inject myself into the company.
Typography is super important to what we do. And if I were to show you websites, you would know which ones are Jay's websites based on his type choices, right? But he takes it even further than that because it's who he is, where he quite literally has designed his own typeface.
I went around with my daughter, we drove all over the downtown area, Millwork District area, and shot photos and reference photos of all the typefaces on the buildings. There's not like a point A to point B. It's like typefaces they're more optically drawn rather than they are like drawn on like a grid, or which I thought was kind of the case. Characters share like pieces and parts. So you start pulling a character like a C is kind of like has parts of like a D or an F, and you start to find these similarities. What you realize is if you start to like Frankenstein these characters together, they don't actually look natural. So you have to do small adjustments to each character. It comes from a place of like more of like your personal sensibilities rather than some sort of like hard rules or practices.
Loves to talk to people, loves to learn about people, he's inquisitive, all those things.
He's definitely gonna ask you 1,000 questions, but he is not asking them just for the fun of it. Like, he is genuinely interested.
Why am I a curious person? Like, when I get nervous in a conversation or if I'm around new people, like my natural like instinct is just to ask questions and talk to people. I definitely like to engage with people and have conversations and understand who they are and what they're doing.
We're a better place because he's here.
I think I've been very grateful, but I wouldn't say I just kind of doing what I'm doing, man. I don't know, like it just kind of works out. I can't explain it anything more than that. You just kind of do your thing, you know? But yeah, I think it's important to like understand, you know, who you are and what you want to be at a higher level, and then you can find places to operate in that feeling.